Thai boxing. Thai boxing. Come see the Thais, watch how they fight with just everything.
Oh shit!
They hands and feet, elbows and knees. This is an art of boxing you would all love to learn. Ooh, ah.
Thai boxing. Thai boxing. Hey Rico, what'd you think of my demo tape?
I like it. You know what I like more is you dancing. That entertains me even more.
God, that song rules. It's Thai boxing by this guy named Jarafan Angard. He's a funk master from Thailand back in the 70s. How sick is that?
That is cool.
The cover of the album is even better. It's him wearing a red sweater turtleneck with two beautiful Thai girls on both arms.
Oh really? Shit.
It's the shit.
He's living the life.
He used to.
Yeah, he used to.
So man, how's your week been?
It was okay. What did I do this weekend? I didn't do much. Oh, I went to meet up with somebody at a dorm.
Okay, alright. Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Nothing
Rock,
crazy.
son.
Nothing crazy happened.
Why'd you bring it up?
Why did I bring it up? Because that's what I did this. That's what I did this weekend.
Alright, okay. I know you had to help your peeps out move to the new gym.
Oh yeah, that was on Wednesday. They're opening up a new gym in Astoria, so I figured I'd come through and help out. You know, carry a few things inside the new location, and I took the opportunity to take a few pictures and start thinking about what I'm gonna write for my new article, which is basically my visit to the gym. I had an encounter with my new Muay Thai coach. His name is Peter Hijavek. But before I even get to him, he was wearing a Glory shirt and a Glory hat. So he already piqued my interest. I'm like, oh, we have a hardcore Glory fan over here. And one of my friends just hinted to me that he is I can say he is a professional Muay Thai fighter. He still fights even at the age of 50.
What?
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, he's a professional Muay Thai fighter. He does kickboxing, and he also does MMA. So I was like, hey, let me just ask him questions. Take a picture of him. He wasn't in a rush, so he just let me take the picture, and he just told me that he fought MMA fighters from the likes of Melvin Gilliard.
Mm. So
he fought some well-renowned fighters, but MMA is not his forte. He's much better at kickboxing. He has a pretty good kickboxing record. His MMA record is 1-10.
Oh, check out this hater right here. Check out. You don't even know this guy.
I'm not hating.
Check out this.
The truth.
He's gonna be your teacher soon. And already you're talking shit.
I would love to learn from him.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to learn kickboxing.
Oh, well played, sir. That's good. But how can you hate a guy? I shouldn't say hate. But
I didn't hate. I'm just saying he's got a 1-10 record. His kickboxing record. I'm going to be known as the hater on this show, but his kickboxing record is I think he has 140 or something like that.
Wow.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He has a couple championships and belts under his waist. So he's pretty decent. He's been fighting for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. You're an avid kickboxer, so I'd rather learn from a specialist in that than a well-rounded, multi-purpose MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And he's such a veteran. I'm sure he has a wealth of knowledge to dump into your head. And how can you fault a guy for losing to Melvin Gillard, of all people? Could you imagine?
I think this was when he was fighting. Melvin Gillard was probably fighting up and coming. So.
This was before he entered the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the IFL.
Your guy?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know what the IFL is?
I remember International Fight League back in...
He wasn't there. He was in the team called, I think it was called the Bears or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Roar. That's what? Yeah, I remember the IFL back in 2005.
Yeah, he was in it.
The good old days. So he was there as a coach or a fighter or both?
He was a fighter.
Wow. I can't believe he's 50 and he's still slinging hands.
Yeah. Because I told him about the line. I told him, because I was trying to promote AKB. I was like, yeah, I'm running a publication along with a friend of mine. And yeah, I'm taking pictures. I would like to take a picture of you and mention you in my article. And I'm also covering things such as line fight. And then when I told him about the line fight, he just went off on a tangent. Like, line fight? Maybe I'll fight the line fight.
That's what he sounds like. That's what he sounds like?
Yeah, he's kind of eccentric.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, once he starts teaching, I think it's going to be like no joke. He's very eccentric. Let me just say that.
There's nothing wrong with being a little eccentric if you're a fighter.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait to spar with him.
He might become the Dwayne Bang Ludwig to your TJ Dillashaw. Never know. I'm checking out some of his fights on YouTube, and you're right, a very rich kickboxing background.
Yeah.
There's a clip of him knocking this dude out in the WKA. It seems like he fought mostly in the American organizations.
Yeah.
Because I see several clips of him fighting with those long pants on. That American kickboxing style pants.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Do people still wear those pants anyway?
I'm sure
I think they've done it. I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm sure.
I think some organizations still use them.
Yeah, more traditional kickboxing.
Yeah.
So first impressions are good. Nice, man. So can you talk about the relocation of the gym? It was in Corona for the longest, and now it's in Astoria.
It was in Sunnyside. No, not Sunnyside. Long Island City.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it was in Long Island City. Now it's in Astoria, and this location is much better. The amount of space they have is ridiculous. Private showers.
Always the showers.
Yeah, always the showers. They have like a little backyard thing going on, so that's pretty cool. They have like a built-in counter. I like that. And what else? They have we probably have the potential to have 2 mat rooms like we did before. Mm-hmm. But the mat room that we have right now is enormous. It's like almost twice the size of the larger mat that we used to train with at the old location. And what else is cool about the location? Oh, it's right outside the train station. Is I don't know the train station actually because I didn't take the train to go to the location. I rode in my scooter. It's,
I saw that video on Facebook.
I love my scooter. It turns so many heads.
Oh man, I can picture you stopping at a Hess and filling that up.
It's electric.
Oh, it's all nice.
Yeah, I want a gas one though.
Okay, all right. How fast do you go, man?
It can hit like 30.
Wow, you can kill someone or kill yourself on that.
Yeah, I could.
Like a little dog. Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
A big mat room is a godsend because I was such a silly goose. I thought I could buy some mats and set it up in the basement of my house. I'm going online. You know how much that is?
Like around 300?
Yeah, it's insane. To get maybe like a 6x2, it costs a pretty penny. So to have a large space.
Yeah, it is expensive.
But nothing... Well, that's the ideal environment to train on. You know?
Basically.
Hardwood stuff really hurts your feet. To maximize your training capability, there's nothing beats a wrestling mat. So, better spot, because I know last time you told me the one in All City was in this sketchy warehouse where you had to dodge a bunch of fiends to get through the front door.
It was a sketchy looking place, but we had mats in there. Now it's not so sketchy.
That's good. So things are looking up. But how's the commute though? Because is Astoria closer to Corona than Long Island City?
I'd say equidistant.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it's about the same distance. It took me it took me about like 30 minutes to get over there. So it's same amount of distance for both locations. But what makes it more convenient is that it's right next to the train station. The old gym wasn't next to the train station, and you had to walk a few blocks to go there. So that kind of like discouraged people from going to the gym and returning. But right here, you just literally you walk out the train station and walk into the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that close.
It reminds me of the Met Stadium now. You know how they got the train station and it leads directly to the entrance, pretty much?
Yeah.
It's a great spot. Okay. Nice, dude. So let's get into the fights. This past Friday night was Lion Fight 17, and we loved it. Lion Fight is the premier Muay Thai promotion in Vegas. They had a bunch of big names come in to top off their main card. But let's just start from the bottom of their pretty stacked card right here. It started off with Andy Singh versus Victor Saravia. Singh is this New York cat. He's this Indian guy. And Victor, he's from Cali, and they fought. And Rico, can you just tell us what happened briefly?
Singh got knocked out.
Singh got knocked out.
TKO.
Oh, shit.
He caught a right hand, right?
A right hand first, and then later in the fight, a right head kick. Oof. You know what this fight especially really let me know? It constantly reminded me of what you talked about, I think it was last podcast, when you said there are just some guys that you have to beat to make your name in the sport who just don't lose. Who are just it's such a long haul, because these two guys are the first ones on this card, and Lion Fight, it's a great promotion, but compared to Glory, you can kind of make the comparison that it's the Bellator to Glory's UFC.
Yeah.
So for these guys to make it to this spot, it's a huge honor and achievement for them. But Singh just couldn't get over this hurdle to get into like the next stage of his career, which again is not the premier top level. So it's a long commitment, and he got head kicked when he first dipped his toes into the Shark Tank for the first, with the big guys.
Yeah.
It's rough out there, man, for a fighter.
It is tough.
So yes, Saravia is this yoked Asian dude. I'm not exactly sure what his ethnicity is, so I'm not gonna say it. But he struck me as maybe Filipino, Thai. I shouldn't list him like that. But he seemed like...
You're so racist.
I'm not racist. I'm Korean. I get to say this shit. Oh, God. No, I don't mean that. No, but he did seem like he could be from from Ireland for all I know. But anyway, he fought Andy Singh, and Saravia is this yoked, stocky guy who throws power with everything he has, and Singh tried to counter that with a lot of unorthodox shots, jumping, flying elbows, and knees. It was interesting because this was the first time I really got to sit down and watch a full Muay Thai fight that didn't take place in Thailand. You know?
Same here.
Yeah, I've seen elbows, clinches, and knees in Lumpini Stadium, Raj Madern, but never American dudes do that. And it was interesting to watch. Yeah. So Singh loses, but he trains out of this MMA camp in the city. So Rico, if you bump into him next time, make sure you tell him about our website. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'll definitely hunt him down. Question: did you? Because I was trying to watch the fight on the stream on the internet. Mm-hmm. Because none of my providers provide access TV.
Yeah.
So I had to watch it with like choppy signals and like it going out like every 5 minutes. Did they show any did any other fighters perform the White Crew before any of the fights or anything like that?
Oh no, actually, no.
No. So no White Crew and no traditional music during the fight.
No. Which I don't know. Personally, I do like the White Crew, but I'm not a fan of the music in the back.
Oh, you're not?
I respect the tradition and such a rich heritage of Muay Thai, what we're talking about, folks, is in Thailand, it's not just the culture, but the organization's rule that if you're going to enter the ring, you have to wear this head garb called the mongkon. It looks like what my mom said from behind me as I was watching the fight. Why are these guys wearing tennis rackets on their heads?
That's what it does look like.
It's I want one for Halloween. So they wear this on their heads. They wear these charm bracelets around their biceps to represent good luck. And the Thais are very superstitious, and they believe that the mongkon and these bands around their arms represents good luck. It channels positivity between the trainer in the corner and the fighter in the ring. That's the connection. It's like the mongkon is the rope that connects the two. Good positive cheese or something. I don't know. So so when they come in, they put on this really celebratory dance where they get on their knees, start circling their arms, and the traditional Thai music's playing in the back with these pipes that sounds kind of like. Am I really doing this right now? Am I really? God, how did this turn into a wacky morning radio show? I can't believe I tried doing that. I'll just play it for you guys. God, that's so embarrassing. Rico, you gotta tell me when I'm being racist against Asians and when I'm doing shit like that.
Next time.
Whew, God, I'm sweating. Alright. Because it's a very distinct sound. Here it is. There's like a video clip of just the music. Here, this is it. I don't really like it. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh man, just listening, I love it.
You love it?
But just listening to it now, it just reminds me of like snake charming music.
Exactly. Yeah. Now the way it's done is the music it escalates in tempo throughout the rounds, and that's not only to encourage the fighters to fight harder, but to make the bettors watching the fight bet more money. Because that's a big part in Thailand. They have a whole system. It's a huge part of the economy, really. It's betting on Thai fights, and it's completely legal. And if you raise one finger, it means put two down on the other guy. You put your pinky down, your thumb up, it means cancel that. I want something. And they have these vendors going around checking to see what finger each guy is holding. It's very intricate, very coordinated, and they put a lot of money down. Not on these adult fighters, but also on these kids that come out and fight. So the music, that's what it is. And you're right, it was interesting. A lion fight didn't have that. Yeah. Were you disappointed?
I like the music. I'm not gonna lie, I sparred to it once. And you just get into like a trance when you're doing it. And it's like you're fighting, but it's like you're dancing at the same time.
I'm hearing some trancey music in the background right now. Do you hear that? Maybe that's your mother watching TV.
Yeah, that's my mom playing some church music.
That I like it. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's probably because you know what's interesting is Lion Fight. It's probably because they're an American promotion and they're on their way up. This is already their 17th card, and they just recently did a co-promotion with UFC for UFC's Expo. The Dana White decided to give the president of Lion Fight like a spot on the tour to promote their fighters' signatures, and maybe I think they even squeezed in like a few exhibition matches or something like that. But
oh wow, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool because you would think there'd be rivals, right?
Not necessarily. It's two different sports.
True.
Yeah.
You know, it's good though because the president of Lion Fight, they gave him an interview, and he seems like a pretty down to earth guy. I mean, I don't really know him personally, obviously. I wish one day I will interview him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, he was like wearing this collared shirt, not buttoned up, with like these necklaces, with like a blazer on. He looked pretty pimp, and he was like a middle aged guy, knows what he's doing, sharp, down to earth. Because Dana, he seems to be very picky when it comes to the promoters he chooses to partner up with. You know, like he's destroyed single-handedly some MMA promotions.
Yeah,
we all know this.
Real.
But okay, anyway, next fight was your boy Brett Hlavacek versus Cyrus Washington. Who talk about Brett, man?
Brett Hlavacek rather trains at the Watt. under crew Phil Nurse. I think he has about like 12 fights under his belt. And he's pretty good. He is tall. This guy is ridiculously tall. That's one thing I've noticed when I saw him. I think I saw him, as a matter of fact, like in the ring, like just kicking pads, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. And this is when I was taking my class for beginners, and you know I didn't really know Brett. I don't know him. I just hear of him. So I finally got to see him fight the other night, and he did pretty well. The first 3 rounds, he dominated, but the last 2 rounds, the other guy started to get the upper hand.
Yeah.
But he still won the fight via decision.
Do you think the other guy should have won it in any way?
Not really.
Not really?
He didn't finish the fight. The other guy didn't finish the fight. The other guy was winning the last 2 rounds. I think if there were more rounds, maybe the other guy would have won. But the way the rules are, Brett won the first 3 rounds. The last 2 rounds, the other guy did better, and because of that, Brett won rightfully so. What do you think?
Well, I think. Well, first of all, to say Hlaviček is tall is an understatement. He is a behemoth. He's this ridiculously tall guy from, I believe, Poland. He's a machine. He's a giant, and he made the other guy look like he should be in another division. It really looked unfair when I first saw the 2 guys line up. And but I personally felt Washington did enough towards the end of the fight to win him a split decision win. But I can see why the guys gave it to Hlaviček, because he dropped him, remember?
Yeah.
In the first round, he dropped him, and that should have been a 10-8 round, which wins him a fight, which wins him the fight by 1 round. Yeah. But you know what was interesting is the punch Hlaviček threw to drop Washington was exactly the same punch you told me the pad holders were making you train when you visited the Watt. The left switch kick from the orthodox stance, and when you finish, you land southpaw, and then you throw the right straight as you're slingshotting that punch, getting back into your orthodox stance. Did you know? Like, it was the exact same thing. I was blown away that he did what you told me these guys train over at the gym, and he dropped the guy.
Isn't that amazing?
And it worked beautifully, man.
Yeah.
I was after you told me about that. 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I was like practicing that move in my kitchen in the dark and shit.
Does it feel weird when you do it?
I know. No, I've thrown the punch like that before, and it's pretty damn effective. You would think it's counterintuitive to shift your hips one way and throw your arm in another direction for it to work in one motion and actually put more momentum into it, but it does create a slingshot effect. Yeah, dude. And did you check out Phil Nurse, how he was getting in and out of the ring?
Oh, I didn't notice that part.
You didn't notice that? It was hilarious. Phil Nurse, every time in between rounds when he would go in and put the stool down for his guy, he would grab the 2 ropes with both his hands like a luchador wrestler and just jump above him, like grab him and just fling himself over the top rope.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Now that you mentioned it, I did see him sling over the ring.
That was awesome.
I think Nurse just has him itching to fight also.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, this guy wants to get in there so badly. He wants to suplex a motherfucker. Get something in. Give me get like a quick shot in, Brett. Come on. Let me get a quick shot in. But he did that like both coming in and coming out of the ring. It was great. It was surreal watching him on TV, thinking my friend didn't talk to him, but got to see him.
Yeah, I got to see him. I didn't get to talk to him.
Yeah. He looks scarier now that I know more about him.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You saw how they interviewed him? I think it was the only coach that they interviewed.
Yes.
They actually went to his corner to interview him.
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
I was like, damn, that's how much of a big shot he must be for the commentators to like just go to the corner and interview him like during mid-fight. I don't think have you ever seen that?
In the UFC, they used to do that a few years back, and then they put an end to it. Because now they have the Fight Pass where they have the coaches mic'd up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Greg Jackson, we can always just hear him talk. But they used to do that then. And Phil Nurse, you had to coach this guy, but you have to hand it to him. He was giving some insightful background info. He was telling him how he was very on. That's when I love boxing. Does this a lot. Freddie Roach, whenever during he coaches Pacquiao fight, they love to interview him. And what I like about both Roach and Nurse is they're very objective, even to the guy that they love and train. You know, if they say
I noticed that.
If your guy loses the first round, he says he lost that round, he has to pick it up this time around because he was actually letting it slip away towards the beginning. So it's very good. And he was like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, Hlavacek, man, I think what happened was he's such a big guy, he gassed out.
Yeah, he definitely did gas out.
You know, Cyrus Washington, he's pretty, you know, like I said, looks like he should be 2 weight divisions below, and was putting it on Havlicek until he landed a good shot, went for a flurry, wasn't able to get the finish, and then he gassed himself out towards the end of the 5th round. And they both decided to do crossing cartwheel kicks. Did you see that?
Oh no, that's when my thing was like froze out.
That was hard to watch, man. Both guys decided to do cartwheel kicks. Hlavacek's was actually a little better because he's taller, but when Washington tried to throw it, you know, Sanchez Sword Kingstar, he's this legendary Thai fighter who does this like it's nothing. This is actually it's like a jab for him. Just Washington does this tired as fuck, and he slips. Like, I'm talking about, he tumbles and shit. It was hard to watch.
Oh no!
It was like a baseball slide. It wasn't. But credit to the guy for coming back like that. So that was fun. And then, here it is. Let's skip to the top 2 cards, top 2 fights: Cosmo Alexander and Joe Nadawat. Now, I know your stream wasn't able to capture this fight, but it was good. I'm not sure if you know who Cosmo is. Yeah, he's tough. He fought both in Bellator, undefeated in MMA, not full silly in MMA, because he's such a decorated kickboxer, and he's fought the likes of Yatsen, Clive Fairtex, Giorgio Petrosian in kickboxing. He's a big name, very athletic. He has these traps that look like they're built of cinder blocks.
Wow.
Yeah, physically imposing. Brazilian dude, very athletic, versus Joe Nadawat. He's a Thai, but he trains from Atlanta, Georgia, out of an American camp. But he has Thai skills. And it was interesting watching... this fight really was the most technical, high-level fight leading up to it. Out of all the other guys, these 2 guys are... And it really gave me a sense of what full Thai rules meant, because... both guys, unlike what we see perhaps in Glory, were very flat-footed in a way. Not in a bad way where they, were getting hit, but they were flat-footed, standing in front of each other, high guard, high stance, and they were really checking every single shot they were throwing at each other at the last moment. It's almost like they're reacting on muscle memory and instinct to fight in this really instinctive, like split-second game of inches and seconds. Like they were like punch, check, punch. They had it down to a system. It's almost like Nadawat knew if the guy decides to throw a right straight, most likely he's gonna follow that up with a right low kick. So I'm gonna parry the right straight, check the low kick, and then go for it. They had it down to a language. That's what it seemed like. That's when you know you're watching high level anything and striking, where if you reach a certain level, it's not about necessarily tricking the other guy on the spot with your moves. It's coming into it with a certain vernacular of a fighting code. And that a lot of times is effective if the other guy can't adapt to it in the fight. That's very hard. Like Mayweather, he has everything down to a system. Like if Canelo throws a jab, he blocks it with a shoulder. Canelo throws a hook, he rolls under it. And for most fighters, they can't crack the code in that short period of time. And I'm sure fighters, they have to develop a new system every time they come in. But that's when you know a guy is super high level.
That is so true.
And what'd you think about the full elbows? I gotta stop talking, Jesus.
About the full elbows?
Yeah, full elbow rules and knees and everything.
I mean, it is Muay Thai, so I was expecting to see it. I kind of, it's kind of refreshing to see like full elbow rolls inside of a ring. I think that's one of the things that I love about Muay Thai is that you can throw that spinning back elbow.
Oh yeah.
You can throw the elbow in from the clinch. I love that, and I like seeing it. And unfortunately, it's not allowed in kickboxing. But once you see a good Muay Thai fight, then you see those moves being pulled off. I mean, I just love it.
Yeah, and in this fight, both guys used them masterfully. Where it really made me it was like a paradigm shift for me. Before it was all about knees, punches, and kicks, especially. But the elbows is a whole nother dimension to the striking game, where there are specific positions to put your arm against another guy, to trap one hand, pin his wrist to his collarbone, and then throw the right elbow over the top. There's a lot of nuances that goes on in that infighting, as close as you can get a clinch fighting game. And
that's one thing I love about Muay Thai is the clinch. And in kickboxing, it's not illegal, but it's kind of frowned upon that you clinch too much in kickboxing match. And Muay Thai is all about the clinch.
Yeah, well, do you so you're saying you prefer the full clinch, and you wish maybe Glory let guys have more liberty in that stance?
Just a little bit more, at least. Just a little bit more.
Because in Glory, yeah. Go on.
Because I can see where Glory's coming from when they try to discourage the clinch. Because without the clinch, there's a higher rate of knockout. And they put the fighters in a position where there's an urgency to strike much more, rather than clinch. Also, I fight better at clinching than I do striking.
Yeah, your clinch is grueling, man. Rico and I, in the Stony Brook Kickboxing Club, we practiced wrestling from the clinch, and homeboy is so damn strong, he would grab the back of my neck with his underhooks, and I couldn't get out of it. Like, I felt like a little boy being tossed around by my father. It was terrible. Like, it's a really helpless feeling. So you told me how one way to get out of that is to reset, is to break out of it and just get back into the clinch and the reset. And a lot of footwork. That clinch fighting itself can be just its own martial art if you think about it.
Yeah, basically.
So to throw that into kickboxing, now you see just how complex things have gotten.
Yeah. I mean, in Muay Thai gyms, they have classes where it's just the clinch the whole session, and you don't do anything else. You just clinch.
God, how much of that do you think is physical strength versus knowing your body and hip position versus the other guy, especially those throws you can do to throw your guy off balance?
I would say it's about 50-50. It's 50% strength, 50% technique, and knowing what to do in the situation. For example, I can get into a clinch with somebody that's stronger than me, and I just have to know like when to break clinch, when to make a move, and when to strike before he can really like control me. It's almost like judo in a sense.
Yeah. In
judo, you don't necessarily have to be stronger than your opponent when you're clinching the person. You just have to understand when to use leverage and when to avoid having the person overpower you.
Yeah, clinch fighting is interesting because it's more or less, you're right, judo, but in Muay Thai they don't let you I'm burping all over the place. They don't let you throw the other guy with hip tosses. Only thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's an upper body only grappling system where you can use your hips to, let's say, put your hips on the other guy's core and throw him off balance that way. But you're not allowed to sweep him. No, you're allowed to. What am I saying? You're allowed to sweep him.
Yeah, you're allowed to sweep.
You're allowed to sweep him. But like, what am I trying to say? Is like, it's hard to describe unless I show it to you.
You can't throw your opponent.
Yeah.
Using your upper body necessarily. Like you can't throw them like over your hip. Or like, for example, like you're in the clinch and then you grab the person and then you sweep with your hip and let the person like fly over your back. You can't do that. Or you can't go under and like grab a leg from like under and then like pick up the person and throw them.
Yeah.
But for example, if you're in the clinch and then you could use the leg and use your leg and you just kick the person under. And you could lift the person up like that. Like we saw in the fight between Washington and Hlavik. He literally just, yeah. He literally just threw Brett in the air. We came in, and then he just swung that leg under him, and he just flew. That is perfectly fine. But like to like pick up the person and throw him over your shoulder, or do like a fireman carry, you can't do that.
Could you imagine a fireman carry in the middle of a Muay Thai fight?
You know that happened to me?
What?
I was sparring with with a wrestler in the old kickboxing club in Stony Brook.
Yeah.
And then he does wrestling, He knows how to do all these moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm attacking him, and then I clinch up with him, and this dude picks me up from the waist, and I see myself in the air, right?
Yeah.
And then he's holding me, and I don't do anything because I'm like, what is going on here? And then he goes to me, do you know what to do when you're in this position? And I said, I kind of do a little bit, but this is not what you're supposed to be, because this is kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slams me on the floor.
What?
He slams me on the floor. I go to MMA fight.
Are you still friends with this guy?
Yeah, we're still friends. Because when he slammed me, that hurt.
Oh, this is
But he
kind of
just didn't
okay.
know.
Shit. You know, yeah, that must have been a weird, like, you're probably thinking, is this happening to me right now? Like, how should I react?
Yeah.
Is this guy for real? Should I punch him back or something?
Yeah.
But best way to describe the Muay Thai clinch is a nose-to-nose, point-blank grappling system where you can throw the guy using just upper body, no suplexes like that. But yeah, throws. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to the Cosmo fight. Okay, you know what? No. Okay, by the way, Hlavacek you're talking about, he was trying to do a flying knee, right? On Cyrus Washington, and then Washington timed it perfectly. Washington sweeps Hlavacek's landing foot backwards, and Hlavacek does a Cirque du Soleil backflip. That was scary, man. To see a big...
That is beautiful.
That's like seeing Yao Ming decide to do something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
If that happened on the street, his head would be cracked.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
But so Cosmo and Natawat, very competitive matchup. I was very impressed by Natawat because personally I've never heard of him, but I've heard of Alexander. By the way, Alexander only had 2.5 weeks to train for this fight, so maybe if he was a bit more ready, we would have seen more out of him. He's actually going to fight in Legacy FC, which is an MMA promotion, in just a few weeks. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's fighting out of, like, 2 different promotions?
He is a company man because Lion Fight... He's a company man. Yo, I'm so corny today. What's wrong with me? I'm like, really, everything's stiff. Anyway, so Cosmo, he filled in the place for Thepnemit Simonchai versus Dean James. Those two guys were supposed to be the headliners.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the main event.
Thepnemit had visa issues, and Dean James injured himself in England training last minute, so Cosmo stepped up, and it was a great fight. And we'll see what happens with him, if he's going to stick around in Lion Fight, which I think would be great if he can fight. Because really, the only guys that can challenge the top dogs like Malapet and Yatsenklai are Cosmo. I can't think of anyone else, really. So, Cosmo wins the Natawat fight via... I'm sorry. Cosmo loses on the scorecards to Natawat, and I thought he should have definitely gotten that call. That was ridiculous. Natawat should have lost that. And Cosmo knew it. After the referee raised the other guy's hand, he just went, shut, fuck.
I saw that in the highlight.
So, after that, the main event, Malapet Sasi Prapa versus Justin Greskowitz. Rico, break it down.
I didn't see that one either, but Malapet won. I saw the highlight, Malapet won.
Yes.
Malapet really dominated from what I've seen. Dropped him really bad. I think he dropped him like twice.
Oh,
How many
man.
times?
Dropped him once.
He dropped him
once, yeah.
With a right?
First round, flash knockout, flash drop, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, basically Malapet dominated the whole thing, and the other one, I forgot his name, Greskowitz? Yeah, Greskowitz just really... He showed a lot of heart, but he couldn't bang with him. And Malapet was talking about retiring. I guess not. There were talks about him retiring, but it looks like he's here to stay for a little bit more. But I kind of like the other fighter because I kind of look at his profile and he's been doing it for a while. He fights out of Pennsylvania.
Stay Fly Muay Thai. That's the gym, yeah.
And that's pretty dope. You know he's a Buddhist?
Really?
Yeah.
Want to talk about that? Like,
I was looking at this his video, his profile on YouTube, and there was, and I say was, I emphasize on was, a publication on Muay Thai. It was called Muay Thai Journal.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I saw that. I knew it. Yeah, I saw his episode.
You saw the logo?
I saw the episode of that series where he was in it. Justin? Yeah. Remember the song for that shit? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah,
I learned a lot about him. What did I learn? He's Buddhist. He spent some time in Thailand training and fighting over there. He was talking about how much he loves it because everybody there knows Muay Thai, as opposed to over here when you mention Muay Thai, they think it's some sort of cocktail. That's what he said. I found that funny. And basically he was just talking about how he trains hard and how he respects fighters that don't just fight just to keep their record, but just go out there and fight the best fighters. And I really admire him because he really tries to, push himself to the limit and fight the best fighters out there. And yeah, he's Buddhist. He converted to Buddhism. So he takes that whole like Muay Thai and that whole Thailand tradition to the heart.
Is that something you're interested in doing one day, going over to Thailand and converting to Buddhist?
I'll go over to Thailand, but I'm not converting.
That'd be so badass. A black Buddhist?
A black Buddhist? There's probably some black Buddhists out there. Probably some black Buddhists in the what?
Phil Nurse might be Buddhist.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so I like that too, man. When a fighter faces the best of the best instead of trying to pad his record.
Yeah.
But I think you have to be careful to know where you are in your progress, where you're going to challenge guys like Malapet and Yatsen Clyde, because sometimes you're just not ready, and you're not exactly, and you're not lesser of a man for not fighting guys who are on a higher level. Like, look at you ever go back and check out Floyd's Wiki page and his fight record? A few of the guys coming up, they weren't cans, but they were more or less like on his level or a couple notches below to build up his confidence. And next thing you know, he's beating Oscar, Sugar Shane, Marquez. That's one thing boxing does very well, is make sure fighters are ready for the big moment. Yeah. But that's a goddamn tangent again. But Malapet, then we can talk about him. I actually discovered him a few weeks ago when, Jimmy Smith? Jimmy Smith, he's a commentator for Bellator. He's a bald dude. He was on Fight Quest. He was the host on Fight Quest. And,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he talked about how he was at an MMA show and Malapet was in the locker room, and how he was hearing gunshots going off. Like he said he was like hearing these gunshots going off, and he checked to see what it was, and it was Malapet kicking pads.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's not an exaggeration, dude. It's really not, because I've seen this guy kick pads on YouTube. Oh my goodness. You have to check this out. It's ridiculous. I think there's a handful of guys in the world that kick as hard as him. The Muay Thai kick is considered to be the hardest in all martial arts, and he kicks the hardest out of that. And guy only had a few weeks for this fight, so they show some of his clips training, and it's crunch time for him. He's trying to put all of his minutes into a few sessions, so he's going full bore on these pads. Yo, I can't imagine. I don't know how Grusquez took those shots. Oh, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, because these expert Thai guys, Malapet, he's fought over 250 times his career.
Damn, that's a lot of fights.
Yeah, I mean, these Thai guys, they start when they're babies, and he's been doing it ever since. So when you hear a guy, imagine you're trying to fight a guy and the ring announcer announces his record and it says 144 wins, 29 losses, 67 by knockout. Like 67 wins by knockout. It's insane. So he's a Thai legend. He's a Lumpini. He's a Raj Maduran champion and Lumpini champion. And Greskowicz was eating those right body kicks to his spleen all day, to his left rib cage. Oh. It was like if you transposed what happened to Uriah Faber's leg in the Aldo fight and just outlined it on Greskowicz's body. It was just welted and bloodied. Oh,
that sucks.
That's the thing about body kicks and round. Rico, 1 second, man. There's someone at my door. Let me pause this. Okay, we're back. Man, I'm getting invaded now from all these. From like Filipinos, Thais, Indonesians, and Malaysians for that joke earlier. All right, okay, I'm good now though. We're back. All right, so what was it? Malapet just kicking the shit out of Yuri Greskowicz's body. You're right, it's tremendous. That's the thing about roundhouse kicks, man. Is it's so powerful that even if you miss and don't clip the body or the head, if the other guy catches it on his forearm, he's not gonna want to throw a punch right after it because it's hurting.
Yeah, it could break.
It could break. Like I was watching clips of us sparring, and there's multiple times where you kick me in the elbow and the forearm, and I just take it because you have these shin guards on. It doesn't hurt me at all. But like in a real fight, not only do you have to be more careful of your placement, but I can't let that happen. Exactly. Like some guys, they just do that for that reason.
Just to break the forearm.
Exactly. And Malapet dominates essentially. And wins it on the judges' cards. You're right. He was about to retire if he lost this fight, but because he dominated, he's gonna stick around. I mean, he has such a long history in the sport.
But who wins a fight and retires afterwards?
That's the best time to retire, don't you think?
Yeah, that is the best time. But very few fighters do that. Okay, Remy Bonjowski, he retired after winning his last fight.
But he kind of lost that fight.
Yeah, he kind of didn't lose that fight too.
Rico, how would you like to retire?
How would I like to? I don't know. Knowing myself, I'd probably retire after I lose.
You go out like Roberto Duran, no mas.
No.
Or like Mike Tyson. Remember when Tyson retired? I wasn't alive. I was alive, but I was in Korea, so I didn't get to see it. But watching that back now is so heartbreaking, knowing what I know about the guy. He just goes, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired.
You saw Penn's retirement?
Oh, was that an official retirement?
It was basically an official retirement. He basically said he's retired in the post-fight conference.
Oh, man.
He broke down into tears.
Oh, man, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was bad because he was talking about. They asked him like, what are you going to do now after you lose this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, so I'm going to hang around the UFC gym. I'm going to train. And then he started talking about like, I don't know anything else. I don't know what to do now. And then he started crying. I felt bad.
But you're like giggling now when you're talking about it.
I mean, looking back at it because the way he said it.
What the?
I love DJ.
You're just like laughing at him. I love him too.
I'm not an asshole, I promise. Oh man.
Dude, he's a part of our childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started getting into the UFC, the first ever, last tangent of the day, but the first ever UFC anything I saw was the promo of the UFC Countdown show of BJ Penn versus GSP1, USA versus Canada. And that was the first time I ever saw anything MMA, and it just drew me in what BJ was doing to these guys. I was like, oh man, this is so... I didn't know anything about the two fighters, but the promo and the highlights sold me that these guys were the best fighters on the planet, and this is a big match that's going to happen.
Oh, what really? I think the first time I saw MMA was when my mom just got DirecTV and she had pay-per-view.
Oh.
And I don't know who were fighting, but they were like these two white guys. And they were on the floor and they were just like beating each other up. And then my mom looked at it and then she looked at me and she goes, don't ever watch this channel again. That's the first time I ever seen MMA. And then after like a couple years later, because this was like, I think this was like near the beginning of the MMA of the UFC. I saw Chuck Liddell just like beating everybody's ass, and then that's when I really started getting into MMA.
Yeah, you know what a great segue. So to recap, Lion Fight 17 was a great show. Lion Fight 18 is gonna come up September 5th, featuring Yodson Fairtex. Gotta love him. Yodson Clay's the shit. In my opinion, he kicks harder than Malapet. In fact, he fought Malapet and he beat him. Yodson Clay beat him with an injury, with an elbow cut. So Yodson Clay's gonna fight the next time. Really nice, because we love Glory World Series, but one of the things that I wish they kind of took a page out of Lion Fight's book is just be more consistent with their cards. You know? Because they have these hiatuses where after, like, Last Man Standing, Glory 17, still they don't have anything scheduled.
Yeah, their hiatuses are serious. They're hard. Well, Last Man Standing is going to be on Spike.
But that, what it's an event
so
that...
if you guys haven't seen it, you can watch it now.
Double dipping, son. But Philippe Verlinden says he wants to fight Joe Schilling or Wayne Barrett next, and Verlinden's the guy that beat Manhoof but lost to Levin in the tournament, the Belgian Bull. So, I'm just waiting for Georgia Petrosian to come back, man. I really am, because I've been checking out his Instagram. He's training hard. I wonder when Tyrone Spawn's gonna come back too. You know, let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want him. Okay, I am Tyrone Spawn's like biggest fan. I love this guy. I think he's the reason why I really started like following kickboxing much more is because of Tyrone Spawn. But what are you gonna say?
No. You talk about. No, go on.
No, I was just gonna talk about Tyrone Spawn.
No, I love it. Talk about Tyrone Spawn.
He's the man. When is he gonna come back from his injury? That's what I want to know.
You know, we're talking about their hiatuses. I think it's because, if you think about it, a lot of their big stars are either still on suspension from a knockout in their last fight, a medical suspension, or they're injured. Nicky Holskin, he's still coming back from that torn knee, I believe. We all know what happened to Spawn's shin. Petrosian got knocked the fuck out back in...
He did.
Yeah, that was terrible. I was crying in November. And really, the top guys they have now that are still remaining, Peter Ertz retired, Remy retired, right? So it's really Gokhan Saki, Andy Risti, and Daniel Guida, Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've lost a lot of star power just because of circumstances.
Yeah, that's true. And we've already seen like all of them fight. It's like...
Which is why it's so...
Like, who's Rico? Who's going to fight Rico? Guida.
One more time, dude. You went choppy there. Shit. Rico, you're doing the robot, man. I can't hear you well. Is that my phone? 1 second, everyone. Rico the Ditcher. Rico just bounced in the middle of the chat. He's like, no, I'm kidding. Your connection again, huh?
Yeah, the connection's retarded.
Ugh. All right, well, let's just forget about all that. Be professional and shit. So we're talking about how Glory, they've had a lot of their guys go out due to injury. But you know, in the while you're getting your router set up, I was checking out their site, and I actually had to kind of take that a little bit back. They still have Schilling, Levin, Valtellini, Kyria, all these guys left, but I think a lot of it also has to do with not just injured fighters, but it's such a big event. Anytime they put on a show, it takes them a while to reload. You know, like Last Man Standing, Glory 17, double feature, kablam! And
yeah,
now
they do go hard.
Exactly. Now they're just kind of like floating in the breeze. They're just like, oh, now what do we do? But well, hey man, no hate. I mean, anytime they announce anything, like the Best of Glory special that was on last weekend, but that was sick. I checked out. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
It was good. It was good. I didn't see every fight, but the fight that I saw, which was the one versus Levin versus Joe Schilling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Can I get your thoughts, sir?
It comes down to the clinch. One of the reasons I think that Schilling won that fight was because what's his name was trying to clinch and he couldn't clinch as much as he wanted to. Levin really wanted to clinch because some of the shots that Joe Schilling was giving him was really wobbling his feet, and what Levin was doing was just clinching as much as he can so he could regain his composure. So most of the fight, even to like the end, was the coach just yelling, "Stop it!"
That's your impression of a Russian coach.
Yeah. Was he Russian?
Levin's coaches? Or Schilling's
No, I'm talking about the referee.
Oh, the referee. The referee. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
He was just screaming, "Stop!" Because they were clinching so much and they were trying to break it.
Yeah. You know, that's a big part of Levin's game. He's very boxer heavy, and he's developed that style. He's become better at it ever since that fight, but even then he was very boxer heavy, and whenever he realizes there's a shot coming back at him and he's closed the distance too much with his uppercuts or punches, he clinches immediately and has the referee break them apart. And in doing so, very slick, crafty, he moves to the center of the ring. Petrosian does this all the time, where Petrosian realizes he's in the corner or on the ropes and realizes it's going to take him a lot of work to just get back with his back facing the center of the ring. He hugs the guy, and the moment when the referee steps in and the scuffle and the transition happens, he turns around and without saying a word, takes the center. It's very smart. Like, he didn't have to do any work for that. And now guess what?
Cool.
It's very smart. Now guess what? The other guy, when the referee says fight, realizes, what the fuck? He just goes, wait, this wasn't how we were standing before. It's almost like when you're in a jiu-jitsu match and you have to reset a position because you're going out of the box and you decide to get full mount on the guy. Yeah. And so Levin, he loves to clinch up. I know what you're talking about. What did you think about the later in the fight?
The winner of the fight?
Later on in that fight. Remember that big Superman punch, yo?
By
Schilling. There's only two guys.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't by Schilling. It was by Petrosian.
Yeah, it was by Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes.
That was insane, right?
That wasn't the same Superman punch.
He just caught him by surprise. Leading up to that fight, Levin was putting on a striking clinic, but then Schilling decides to close the gap on him so suddenly with a leaping Superman punch. Levin did not expect the gap to close that fast and got cracked. And on the way down, on Levin's way down, Schilling decides to lift his left knee up, and Levin bounces his head off of it.
Nice.
Very similar to how, like, when you see a street fight on YouTube and the guy gets dropped, and on the way down he hits the curb, and then his face hits the blacktop. It was like that.
Yeah, like, basically.
Triple damage. Like he fell down the steps. Credit to him for getting back up. Holy shit.
It was a good fight.
Do you think
it was very smart of Joe Schilling. I think he deserved that win.
Yeah, I mean, this is all old news to hardcore kickboxing fans, but I think it's very relevant considering how Levin is really, you can make the argument. Some people are saying, like Jack Slack, my friend Jack Slack, Rico, you know, my buddy?
Yeah.
Jack Slack is saying how he might be the best striker, stand-up artist in the world now. Yeah.
Schilling?
Yeah, Jack Slack said he might be the best kickboxer in the world now.
Oh, wow.
No, Levin.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say it, like, right?
Yeah.
Levin, yeah.
After he won the championship, and he is very marketable. He's Russian as Russian gets, so it's good that they're breeding new talent. So that's the glory of best of recap. You know, we have to talk about Diaz and Silva, man. I mean, that was the little ad we put up. I'm sure like 57, like 90% of the people checking this out is like, when are they gonna talk about Diaz Silva?
Diaz Silva.
Yeah, they're like, when is that coming up? 209, motherfucker. No, but
Oh, look at the time. It's time for us to go.
yeah, we don't talk about that MMA shit. No, I'm kidding. So, yo, that fight, oh my gosh. It's
gonna be epic.
Can't believe they put that together so fast, out of nowhere.
That is crazy.
I haven't...
That's what I like about MMA and kickboxing. The fight happen. Unlike boxing. Cough, cough, Mayweather. Cough, cough, Pacquiao.
Wait, is that more cough, cough on one guy versus the other?
Yeah.
Who?
I said Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like saying like both. Do you think one guy dodges more than the other, or what?
No, I'm just saying that like the fights that are like highly anticipated, they actually happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's really. Who do you think is really dodging that fight? Mayweather, I guess.
I don't want to say because Rico, I might interview him next week. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I wish his fucking bouncers would crack my skull in, but
Hell,
yeah.
Let alone him. You gotta worry about the bouncers first.
I don't really know about that. I mean, Mayweather has claimed multiple times that he personally called Pacquiao and asked him, let's split the pay 60-40. I get 60, you get 40. And Mayweather, according to him, said Pacquiao just hung up on him. He said, no, make it 50-50 and just click the phone.
Oh, no.
And then Pacquiao on the other end says, that never happened. We've issued this fight several times, and their stubborn Mayweather promotions they're just greedy and want more money, and they're making us take Olympic steroid tests when my guy's been clean all this time. Yeah. Want to hear my Freddie Roach impression?
Go for it.
Okay, Rico, you gotta be like Mayweather.
Damn, how am I gonna sound like Mayweather? I can't impersonate Mayweather.
Alright, Jesus. Alright, so this is Freddie Roach. My fighter, he's always been cleaner. Man is a good fighter, and we're gonna be Mayweather. That's not bad, right?
That's not bad at all.
You know, Mayweather, the guy dodges every fight. My guy Pacquiao, he's gonna win because he's very dedicated, and then Pacquiao's in the corner like, I love Freddie, and we're gonna take it to a Pacquiao. I don't even know who I'm doing anymore. I'm gonna take it to. All right, dude.
You trying to sound like Pacquiao now?
This is Tangent the podcast. Holy shit! People should just really just tune out right now. Okay, no. Silva Diaz. What's happening in this fight? What do you think?
What's happening? Silva's gonna knock out Diaz, but maybe not in the first round. But Silva usually knocks people out in the second round. The first round is the feel-out round. Is it a 5-minute round?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Man, I think Silva got it.
You know what makes me agree is because Silva is Silva. I don't care how many times he hurt his leg.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's much bigger. Much bigger.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is first round, traditionally Anderson Silva feeling out process. Nick Diaz is going to pour it on him. But Silva, I doubt he's going to want to bang with him. He never does that.
Yeah.
And by the time round 2 rolls around, Silva is going to have gathered enough intel where he picks his shots. And what's problematic about Nick Diaz's style is he's very lead foot heavy because he's a good boxer. And Silva's going to throw that metal screwed left shin of his all night long at that thing.
that plated chin.
Exactly. With Weidman's initials lasered into it. And it comes down to, I think, 2 great strikers. Diaz, the guy who's going to refuse to really go to the mat with him. But one guy is just multifaceted in the striking game. And maybe even the better boxer. Versus Diaz, who's going to come out more one-dimensional. And you can even make the argument Diaz is going to be more rusty. You can't kind of like make that argument. I know Silva's been out with this ridiculous injury, but he's actually fought.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the last time Diaz fought was against GSP.
Yeah, that's a long-ass time. And GSP's been out of the picture for a long time.
Exactly. That gives you a perspective. Like, after that fight is when GSP fought another dude and announced his retirement. Like, that was a while back. But
yeah, it's long.
I think what happened. I haven't followed up the gossip or anything, but what I'm thinking happened is Diaz told the UFC, unless you give me this guy, that guy, I'm not gonna come back. And Dana White, you want Anderson? And Nick Diaz is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'll take Anderson, whatever. And then he got back. And good for him, dude. Like, they did this thing on Inside MMA of Nick Diaz's recent schedule. He had one fight in 2012. One fight in 2011, 2012, none in 2013, and this one now. So, like, the guy, he's like the Undertaker of the UFC. Like, he only fights, like, once a year.
That's ridiculous. He hasn't fought since 2012. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But he just...
Yeah. He's not winning. I'm sorry. He's not winning this fight. You heard it from the clinch.
You heard it from the clinch.
Diaz not winning this fight. If he wins this fight, I'm shaving my head bald.
He's already bald, dude.
I know.
You should just you should tattoo Nick Diaz's face on your face.
Name on my face.
But at the end of the day, if Anderson Silva has, it's crucial, I think, for Anderson to have an impressive performance, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very crucial for him.
He can't just go on.
Because there's already talks when Silva lost the second match against Weidman, like whether this is going to be the last time we ever seen Anderson Silva fight. So now he's coming back with that kind of that cloud over his head of if he's the same, or will he be like very successful in his MMA career after that injury, or if his time is done. So yeah, he really needs to kill it in this fight to prove the critics that he's the real deal and he's here to stay.
If Silva beats him impressively, do you think he should retire?
I still think he should retire, man. I mean, like,
yeah.
And he's fighting in middleweight division.
Mm.
So that means that Silva wants to stay in that weight division, I guess.
Yeah.
And possibly fight Weidman again. So it's going to be like Silva versus Weidman 3. And we're going to have a trilogy.
You know...
And he might even have to fight, what's his name? Machida. Which he's been avoiding for such a long time, both of them.
Because they're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Machida. You know, if Silva decides to stick around, I think we have to all accept the fact that he's never going to be champion again with Weidman at the top. I don't know about you, but to me, Weidman has Silva's number, like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
Like, there's just some guys that know how to beat another guy. It's a weird, like invisible element. Like, Mike Brown, of all people, had Faber's element. Had Faber's name.
Mm.
You know, Faber just could never beat this guy. But Mike Brown lost to a lot of the guys Faber beat. Faber beat dominantly. It comes down to a matchup of styles, I think. And Weidman is tailor-made to beat a guy like Silva. And Silva, I want to see what he does in this fight, because it might be a case where a lot of times when I hear a guy say it's a kickboxing versus boxing match, I get like a tad worried for the kickboxer in some cases, because a boxer is a specialist of his hands, which is very practical, and a lot of the shots you throw from... Even kickboxers, they do most of the damage with their punches. You got to agree, right? And
yeah,
Muay Thai guys too. Muay Thai guys too. And the kickboxer, he sometimes might spread his arsenal out too thin to punch his kicks, and he never is able to inflict enough damage. And that's kind of what we saw in the Cerrone-Nate Diaz fight. You know? And what I think is going to happen in this is Silva is just more well-rounded in more areas than Diaz is. I've seen Silva box. He's good, dude. Like, he moves like a boxer.
Mm.
You know? Very slick. And it'll be interesting, man. It'll be good. But Silva, man, I think he should retire too after this, because if you look at the division, ever since his hiatus, it's been the tank's been filled with sharks. Like dude, fucking Jacare, Tim Kennedy, Rockhold, Belfort, Uriah Hall, even. Like, I don't think Silva.
You don't think Silva could beat Uriah Hall?
Oh, dude, I think that'll be a close ass fight. You think I'm crazy saying that?
I don't know, man.
You think I'm crazy saying that? I don't know. I think it'd be more competitive than people give it credit for. Like, what the division is now, is like the status of the division now is how it was before a young Silva came in and started dominating the UFC. You know, so the old Silva to do that again is just physically impossible. Bad timing. You know, so it might even be more stacked now. Who knows? But that's that. And kudos to the UFC for scheduling. It's January 15th. I'm gonna have my calendar marked and ready.
Nice.
That should be Christmas break, dude.
Oh yeah, so we're out. We're gonna watch that fight.
Hell yeah. Fuck. I wonder what the co-main's gonna be.
I don't know.
The only thing I can think of is Lawler versus Brown, but after the Diaz Silva hype, that's kind of like whack now. It was a great fight. Well, you saw the whole thing, right? Tell me about it, son.
I saw most of the end. What cut Brown? Was it elbow or a punch?
Oh, good question.
Because he was bleeding profusely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was bleeding profusely, and like Brown showed a lot of heart. He couldn't finish him.
I think that's also a lot of scar tissue built up around Matt Brown's eyes. You know, he gets into these ridiculous wars with people. And did you notice how... I'm not going to talk shit about Matt Brown of all people, because I'm fucking terrified of him. But, like, what I realized was it could be also a testament to Lawler's power. Brown seemed to flinch away every time he tried to go in for a shot inside in the pocket.
Yes, I saw that. It was like every time he punched, he would like dodge away, like he was anticipating something. Like he was flinching like almost every time he went in the pocket, and then like he would just come out and do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was like I guess he was trying to predict shots or something, but that was like kind of weird, like seeing that from like a seasoned MMA fighter to just flinch away like that.
Lawler is so scary, dude. Like he can crack. And credit to Brown, you can make the argument that the single most effective punch in the fight, the single most effective punch was one Brown clipped Lawler with early in the fight that wobbled Lawler. Did you see that? It was very subtle, but Brown cracked him with a right straight, and you can tell. This is very rare when you see Lawler do this. Only time I've seen him get hurt like that is against Nick Diaz. But Lawler's feet just did like a slight chicken dance. And I was like, holy shit, it's a fight now. Yeah. What do you think about Brown implementing such a full Muay Thai, almost like we're talking about lion fight, that full Muay Thai game into MMA? He's only the guy, Silva, only a handful of guys who really knows how to implement that properly.
I think it's good, and I think it's nice to see like people implement full Muay Thai within the octagon. Who else fights in MMA who tries to do Muay Thai? I think Malipet does.
Malipet does have an MMA career, of course, yeah. But
yeah, and he tried it, and like it didn't look too well, even though he's a champion in Muay Thai. I guess you just have to know how to do it in the octagon.
You know, does it break your heart when you see decorated, legendary Thai fighters or kickboxers flounder in MMA?
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Does it make you question yourself as a man?
No, I was saying like that. Taking a little too far.
Taking a little bit too far.
I think what the problem is that kickboxers and Muay Thai fighters, just because they channel in their own right in the stand-up game, it's a totally different ball game when you incorporate somebody trying to take you down, giving you a single leg, and fighting from a different kind of stance. And you have to recognize that, and you have to apply what you learn in the ring and translate that into the octagon, as opposed to walking into the octagon like you're fighting a Muay Thai fight. Like it's gonna work out that way.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Is you use what you know and what you're good at and apply it. Like for example, what's his name? Crocop. Crocop was a very good MMA fighter. He implemented what he learned in kickboxing, and then he translated very well in MMA. Same goes for Cerrone, and for those who grapple. Mm-hmm. The same thing goes for.
You can say Overeem. You know Overeem a little bit.
Oh yeah, Overeem too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man.
Yeah. So far, Tyron Spong has 2 fights in the MMA scene. The first one was good, and the second one was okay. So Tyron Spong needs to really evaluate how he fights in MMA, so he can really be a superstar and that's his fault.
You know, where do you see his MMA career going? Do you think he'll reach the UFC one day?
Tyron Spong's a man. He's gonna make it to the UFC one day, I hope.
I mean, he's you can say he's like still young, but he has a lot of miles on him.
Yeah, he does. He's been fighting for a while.
And these Dutch guys, man, it's not just the fight record you have to take into account. It's the gym wars. Like, you know, Dutch guys are notorious for getting into gym wars, like sparring matches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're almost, they pride themselves on just killing themselves in sparring matches. Boss Rutan says how when he sparred guys, he would never headhunt. He would go light to the head, but he would try to destroy your body and legs.
Oh, so wait. Tell me more about these gym wars.
So there's famous Dutch kickboxing gyms like Golden Glory, Mike's gym especially, Majiro, Chakariki, all these legends that have come out of it. And we can name them all, but you know, Peter or Semi-Shield, all these guys, they talk about how they develop their toughness by fighting the best in this camp of killers, like going really hard in sparring matches. And if you do that consistently, you're going to degrade your body and chin especially before the fight even happens. There was a fight, a great example of a guy who I saw probably wore himself down so much in training that in like an MMA fight, his chin was gone. It was Marvin Eastman versus Travis Lutter. Dude, you watched that? It's a UFC fight, granted, but Lutter barely he skins Marvin Eastman's chin with a punch, just skims it, and Eastman, his arms fly back of his head hits the canvas, dead cold knockout. And you know, you know what Eastman said? He said he'd been knocked out multiple times in training camp leading up to it.
That's not even good. That's good. It's bad for your health because according to like these fight promotions, if you get knocked out, you have to take a break from fighting, and these guys are like getting knocked out during training that is not being reported. That's very dangerous, and it could lead to fatal situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, Alistair Overeem's documentary series, the Ream.
No, I never seen that one.
Oh, dude, check that out tonight. There's training clips of him when he won the K1 Grand Prix, and he's just kneeing the shit out of guys' livers, and they're getting dropped like left and right like fly. Like, ugh. I'm like, dude, this isn't a fight, son. Chill. And you know who hates this style of fight training? Who really frowns upon it? You know who hates it? Ernesto Hoost. Ernesto Hoost, yeah, because I think he's been in that culture for so long. He's seen the downside of it. So when he spars guys, he goes super technical and light, and that's really the best environment for you to develop new techniques. Is when you're not afraid that the other guy's going to clip you, and you're in a constant mode of tension. Exactly, like that's why you ease up when we spar, motherfucker.
No, like, yeah, I usually go hard when I spar.
No. What I mean is there are times where that's necessary. I think it's all in moderation. Yeah. Ramping up to a fight, maybe it might be better for you to have like one hard session and to test your mettle, and really break yourself into that fight mode. But before that, you have to be creative and just tap. You know, like certain boxers like Prince Nassim Ahmed. He developed better footwork because in sparring they would only touch each other on the body. Yeah, only body tagging. Yeah. So and there's like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was notorious for knocking guys out in his sparring sessions. Like he would do the exact same moves he would pull off in the ring and do them in a sparring match. Yeah. So.
But yeah, nobody could fuck with Mike Tyson. So.
Have you ever had a problem when a guy is just way too macho and tries to hurt you in sparring?
Trying to think. No, I've never had that, to be honest.
Me?
You?
I just fire everything back at you, throw at me because you're like we're both going hard and shit. But
Oh yes, no. I take that back.
Okay.
I take that back. Yes, I know somebody who goes too hard when sparring, and his name is John Restrepo. My roommate, he goes hard. I still don't understand it when sometimes we do things like it's like shadow boxing, but you don't hit the person, you face the person and then you shadow box. And like you throw the punch at the head, but you don't hit the head. And you do this when you're not wearing gloves. So you're like throwing the punch, and then just to see if you'll get the person. You're practicing your form, you're practicing your technique. John Restrepo hits you in the face.
period.
Hits you in the face. That's what he does. One time I was doing a clinch, a drill. Like I don't know if you were there, but I was doing a drill where you clinch the person, and then you throw the person to the side, and then you follow up with a head kick.
Oh,
when
yeah.
the person is like bent over, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you grab the person to clinch, you throw like 2 knees, and then you swing the person to your right, and you swing him to your right and down. So the person's like facing down at the same time, and then you bring up your leg, and then you stop right in front of the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
John kicked me in my nose, so I started bleeding.
Oh man, I know I've sparred John before too. He does go pretty hard.
Yeah.
And like the last thing you want to do is feed the guy's flame by going harder yourself.
Oh, I do that. I beat the flame.
You're trying to defend yourself at that point.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else, man?
Nada.
Well, oh yeah. How's training been, dude? Last thing. How's training been?
Training, I haven't gone to the gym lately.
No,
like to training any like kickboxing or anything like that. I haven't done that since my gym is closed. But I've been exercising. I've been running. I've been doing push-ups, and I've been doing sit-ups and squats. So when the gym opens up, hopefully not this Monday, but the following Monday, I won't be gassed out once I go back. And unfortunately, guys, it looks like I won't be fighting this summer. So hopefully next summer.
Don't worry, man. You'll be fighting me in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm fucking worried because you, like an assassin, have been going to a Muay Thai gym every day for the past few weeks in the summer, sparring against other guys that spar. Like, what I've been going to the fucking rec center and doing I've been doing like free weights and shit, like bench presses and stuff. But you're getting you're getting muscle from punching, Rico. I'm, you're getting big from just fighting. I'm worried.
You better watch out.
No, I really am, because like I think we're gonna see a disparity in skill level once school starts. Yeah, you got any new tricks up your sleeve? If you had to assess your development in the past 2 months, how would you describe it?
I think my punching, my boxing's a little better.
Okay.
Because there was somebody at the gym that does strictly boxing. Like he used to box before joining the gym, and he insisted on like sparring boxing only. And I was like, fuck it, let me just spar with him since that's what he wants to do. And he is pretty good. So I've been working with him.
Nice, dude. Is this a Chinese guy?
Yeah, it's him. Yeah.
What is the one most important thing you've picked up?
The jab.
The jab.
That jab is annoying. I hate it. I hate it so much. You gotta learn how to defend against a jab. And what else have I learned? I've learned to just follow through. Once you throw like one hit,
yeah,
you gotta follow through with combos. What they criticized about me was that I would come in and I would swing like a strong hook or like a strong overhand, and I would land, right, and then I would stop, and then I would pedal back, and then I would come back in, and then I would try to like block myself and try to roll with a punch and then throw like another one. And they told me like even though my right is strong, it's more recommended that I throw more attacks. And don't worry about getting hit, which I do sometimes. I don't like getting hit. I don't think anybody does, but yeah, I don't like it.
That's good, man. You polish up your skills. You get a little humbled from the boxer. Yeah. That's good. I'm worried. I'm just scared because you're talking about combos and jabs and shit. I'm just like, fuck. All right, dude. Let's stop boring our listeners out there. I'm done. Are we done?
I'm done.
Well, everyone, we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time. By then, it'll be almost time to go back to Stony Brook.
Yes.
Can't wait. God, I'm fucking nervous a little bit. Not about the fighting part, but just the semester starting back up.
I'm nervous. I can't wait to go back to school.
Okay, we'll have plenty of goodies next podcast, but for this was episode number 4 of The Clinch with G-Man Kim and Ricardo.
Jean-Pierre.
Peace out, son.
Later. I think I'll see you.